We're here. Hey.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to Live from the Owl's Nest. I'm Jamie.
I'm Alicia.
And we are OWLS, computer software training and support, specializing in
QuickBooks,
Microsoft Office, and
all things Apple.
Yay, that'd be my part right there. So here we are, Live from the Owl's Nest, here to let you know what's going on with RoyalWise. We got some upcoming classes, some little updates, and Jeff is not with us today, and I will be having to do all the posting and linking and stuff. So you guys get to watch an expert struggle. Everybody loves that.
You're not going to struggle.
No, I'm going to do perfect.
Yeah.
So let's start off with you, Alicia. What is happening? I know it's end of year, and we've got 1099 stuff and year-end book closing and all the things.
Yeah, so everybody who's in the bookkeeping industry right now is going a mile a minute with all of their clients coming out of the woodwork to get their books buttoned up for the year. And January 31st is the 1099 deadline. And so now everybody's scrambling because when they hired their subcontractors, they didn't go send out their W-9 forms. And so now they don't have their contact information. And this is the time when everybody is frantically contacting everybody and running their 1099s and all of that fun stuff. So I kind of call it the 1099 kerfuffle, and I have a kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle, that's a word?
It's a word.
That's really a word, okay.
It's an old school word, but it's a very accurate and useful word. So if you are in the midst of 1099 fun, QuickBooks Online does have a contractor center for managing your contractors and for submitting your 1099s to the IRS, although it doesn't do state. And if you are interested in using QBO's tools, I did teach a class last week about it. And hey, Jamie, can you go put that in there? We're going to go put that link in the chat. And so I have a class specifically about how to use QBO's 1099 wizard. Now, what's making all of this a kerfuffle this year is that in 2020, they changed the forms so that it used to be just the 1099 MISC. And then they realized that almost everybody was using it for non-employee compensation. So they took that one little box 7 out of the 1099 MISC and made a whole new form for it for the 1099 NEC. Now, that was last year's kerfuffle. This year, we kind of got that under our belt. But the new problem is that with all of the new fintech that came out, all these new apps that are now moving money back and forth between your bank account and your credit cards and these merchant processors, there's a whole big struggle to figure out who's supposed to get a 1099 and who is not supposed to get a 1099. So, there's the basic part of it of you need to get their W-9 form so you can find out if they're a sole proprietor or if they are a LLC. And if they're an LLC, are they filing as a sole proprietorship, in which case they do get a 1099, or are they an LLC filing as an S Corp, in which case they don't get a 1099. And so that's why it's important to get your W-9 forms. Now, once you've got those forms, you've pre-qualified them as somebody who might get a 1099. And then through the year, as you pay them, QuickBooks is going to keep track of what payments qualify and which ones don't. So if you pay them by credit card, you don't have to 1099 them. If you pay them by PayPal, you don't have to 1099 them, because each of those are actually, like, the credit card's a liability where it holds the money, and and PayPal is actually a bank account. And then we've got like the Cash App and Venmo and all of those.
Are you teaching the class here in the
I kind of am.
Again? That's in the class, right?
It is in the class, but I have a point.
Okay.
So I guess I will cut to the chase and get to the point. But the point is that things like the Cash App or Venmo, like, not even the IRS at this point knows that none of the guidelines are specific to like types of vendors. And so you're always better sending a 1099 than not sending a 1099. But the thing to always remember is that the business accounts count, the personal ones don't. But my bottom line is, if it's a transaction that's pulled from your checking account and put in somebody else's, it's a 1099. If it goes to another third company that holds the money and then processes it, there's no 1099. Now, to that end, Jennifer Diamond, the president of our local Portland Woodard group, go ahead and get that link ready, worked really hard to help us figure out which fintech company does get 1099 and which one doesn't. Like QuickBooks payments, if they paid by credit card, it doesn't. If it got paid by ACH, it does.
Is this Jen's manual?
And so Jen put together this awesome document that outlines all of the different companies and who gets 1099 and who doesn't. So we just put that link in the chat right there, and absolutely go take a look at it. She's keeping it live so that as we learn more, we can change it.
Hey, we got a comment. Jeff says hi. Jeff is out there. Hey, Jeff. Thanks for saying hi to us. By the way, if you're out there, feel free to throw a comment in so that we know you're there. I'm going to quickly summarize some of the stuff that Alicia just said. Make sure you get the hoojits so that you don't cause a kerfuffle with the thingamabobs.
That is pretty much what we all understand from it.
Good.
Yeah. My bottom line is, as long as the IRS sees that the contractor reported more income than was on their 1099s, I don't think anybody really cares.
That's the hoojit part.
That's
right?
the
hoojit part.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So that is my 1099 spiel.
Did I spell kerfuffle right in the comments?
It's not how I would spell it, but I don't know if there is a correct spelling.
Oh,
for
it's
kerfuffle.
phonetical. It's a phonetical
is.
spelling. Awesome.
Yeah. I might have done KER instead of KUR.
Oh man, that's the word police. You don't know. She's gonna use that in Wordle, but it's too long.
Yeah, it's not 5 letters.
It's the new trend happening. We have a couple of a friend of ours is putting his daily Wordle on, and his wife actually commented that if you publish your game results on Facebook, unfriend me now. And I'm just waiting for her to unfriend her husband. I'm just every day, I'm like, Jen, you still haven't unfriended Tyler. Come on, dude. Unfriend that guy.
I think they were always going to be friends.
Oh, I don't know, but maybe not on Facebook. Oh, hey, how about Apple World? Let me talk a little bit about what's going on with me. Still new machines coming in, setting stuff up, transferring data, all that kind of fun stuff. The only thing I'm going to really bring up about Apple right now is we've been kind of watching some Apple Watch stuff, right? I talked about Apple Watch and hearing and noise and stuff like that on our last episode. But Apple Fitness Plus is up and running and doing some great stuff. A couple things I want to mention, because the Apple Watch is what kind of drives Apple Fitness Plus. You can do it on your TV or your iPad, but your watch is talking to that device so that you're actually seeing your heart rate and different things. But there's a couple new features. One is guided meditation that Apple Fitness Plus will take you through, which is kind of a cool thing. And another feature called Time to Walk, where you actually can get a guided vocal meditation during your walk. And it's timed just right for a half an hour walk or however long you want to walk. And so there's new episodes coming out. And I think, I can't remember who, but there's, a couple people doing these Time to Walk, Oprah and some other folks, some of those great voices we just love to hear that motivate us.
I listened to Wanda Sykes do some comedy and talk about her favorite song, which was September by Earth, Wind and Fire, which at the time I was actually learning to play. So that totally jazzed me up for my walk.
There we go. Yeah. Right. So get those walks in, get those heart walks. They call them heart walks. But you can use your Apple Watch and Apple Fitness Plus to get Time to Walk episodes. So I just thought that was kind of cool. And I'd mention that. So let's throw it back your way. What else you got?
Okay. Mostly from here, like I said, the other thing that's happening is everybody's coming out of the woodwork to get their books ready for taxes. And there's two kinds of CPAs. There's the one kind of CPA who will look at your books and make sure everything's right and then make adjustments before submitting your taxes. And then there's some that just assume that you did it right through the year and will take whatever you give them. If your accountant falls into that latter category, please make sure you talk to a business owner. Talk to a bookkeeper and have them look at the books before you submit, because you don't want duplicated income. You don't want duplicated expenses. You want to make sure that everything's all in the right buckets. And so this is the time of year when all of us are working 24/7, making sure that everybody's ducks are quacking right. I don't think that's an actual analogy, but there you go. Making sure that everybody's books are right. And so to that end, on February 2nd, I'm giving a class where I'm going to demonstrate how I assess a client's books at year end. What are all the PEBCACs? PEBCAC means problem exists between chair and keyboard. It's basically all the things the business owners do wrong. So I show you all the hot spots for what to look for to make sure that the books are right, so that they're all buttoned up to pass on to the accountant for taxes. So I want to share my system with people. So Jamie, can you get that link in there for the year end? And so that's my year-end class where I will teach you to do it like I do it. And so we can make sure that all of our clients have excellent, excellent books.
And I want to do a quick shout out. We love to talk about our strategic partners. I want to thank Jesse Jarrell from Salisbury and Company. They're based in Vancouver, but they cover Washington and Oregon also. They've been sending us some great people that need training. And so when Alicia can't handle some of the cleanup or stuff, that's who we're sending people over to for referrals. They've got a great year-end offer. I think you don't need a long-term contract. You can just get like a 1 or 2 hour cleanup from them, and you don't have to be a long-term client. You can just have them look at your books and do those kinds of cleanups.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you don't have enough time, look for Salisbury, S-A-L-B-U-R-Y, S-A-L-S-B-U-R-Y, Salisbury and Company.
Yeah, no, they're great. I'm really glad to hear that they're offering that service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And thank you, Jesse.
Okay. I'm going to mention a class. We're going to kind of bounce back and forth with our class schedules that are coming up. I'm doing one we haven't done live yet, and it's actually called the OWLS Portal Tour. So, of course, the Royal Wise OWLS is our on-demand web-based learning solution. That is where our on-demand classes live on our website. So we call that our learning portal. So we send out a nice email, no wormholes. We're not going to suck you down any space wormholes or take you through any black holes. But I'm going to spend an hour at 11 o'clock on Friday, January 28th. It's a free class and everybody's welcome. If you are an existing student, if you're a subscriber or a member, please come and just learn how to navigate the portal, how to use the forums, how to check your messages and notifications, how to manage your subscription, everything inside the portal, and also questions answered. If you've never been a student, if you've never taken a class, now's your chance to at least get exposed to it. Come see what we do, see how we do it, see how easy it is to download handouts, watch videos, all those sorts of things. So it's going to be kind of comprehensive on how to be a Royal Wise OWLS student.
Yeah. And, even if you've never taken any classes with us before, one of the things that you really want to know about us is that we're not just like one of those webinars where you get a Zoom link and then it's over and you're done. We actually have a whole training portal where you have access to the videos, you have a class discussions forum, you get lifetime access to the handouts, all of that. And so if you're just kind of wondering if maybe you want to take a class with us, come to his portal tour and see what we're all about. And then you can know where to go from there.
Access to an expert. That's one of the things that Royal Wise is really proud of. And also, we don't want you to be alone with the technology. Nothing's worse. You spend all this money on tech, you don't know what to do and nobody to turn to. We're here for you. Experts that know what to do and happy to help guide you through.
Absolutely.
Okay. Your next one, or you want me to go finish mine?
Yeah, why don't you finish yours and then I'll go.
Okay. Another class coming up. This is Friday, February 4th at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. I'm going to do 2 different sessions, but this one I'm super excited about. I don't know if you guys know, about 2 years ago, this thing happened called quarantine, I think. COVID came and we all got stuck in quarantine. Well, when quarantine hit, I actually ran a how to use Zoom class, and it was a free class, and I gave it away. I gave it away 2 or 3 different times, had over 200 people come through my free class and learn how to use Zoom. A lot of retired folks, older folks, people that didn't understand, like, well, we're not going to see or talk to anybody for a little while.
It was absolutely adorable. At one point, we had 86 different seniors doing their very, very first Zoom going, is this on? Can they hear me? All at the same time.
And we video recorded it. So I've got the tapes. Anyway, it's been 2 years, and I thought it'd be super fun to have a Zoom reunion, right? And invite all of my existing students and people who even just came free once and never came back. That's totally fine. But we're going to kind of get together, share some war stories, talk about using Zoom to talk to our family and our friends throughout quarantine and COVID. I'm going to give you some new Zoom tips, stuff that I've learned being in the trenches all this time. And then
also new features,
stuff like that. And then we'll also kind of go over it. Make sure you know what's coming up with Royal Wise, what's coming up the class schedule. I'm going to launch my end of winter, beginning of spring curriculum. So you kind of know what classes are coming up, and I'll cover some of Alicia's too, I'm sure.
Okay, good.
So those are Zoom reunions, and they're going to be February 4th at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. They're completely free. It is kind of for the people that came to the Zoom classes. But again, if you just want to come and get exposed and be a part of it, feel free. So I'm going to throw those links up in the chat too while Alicia gets started on her next presentation.
Okay, good. And then my other huge announcement is on February 16th, we have Kathy Grosskirth joining the Royal Wise Owls. And so Kathy is going to be doing an Accounting 101 class for us. And Kathy is one of the top 100 pro advisors, and she's on my national training team from the Trainer Writer Network for Intuit. And one of the things, in my platform, mostly what I'm teaching is QuickBooks, like how to use the software. And there's a lot of beginning bookkeepers out there who are like diving in and learning QuickBooks, but they don't really have the accounting background. So the self-taught bookkeepers, or the people who came at it from the software side instead of the accounting education side, this is the class to fill in the gaps in your knowledge, where you may know what buttons to push in QuickBooks, but do you know what's happening behind the scenes with the debits and credits? So Kathy's going to be talking about the different business formation types. She's going to be talking about the counting cycle. She's going to be talking about the transaction journal and everything that's kind of the fundamental information that you need in order to be a great bookkeeper. So Kathy is going to be giving that class again on February 16th. We put the link in the chat so that you can go ahead and register. So this is going to be an absolutely amazing opportunity to get your, to really round out your accounting education. So thank you, Kathy, for joining us. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yay! Yeah. We love our guest instructors in the portal. That is absolutely wonderful, and lets us kind of expand our offerings. So we're super excited about that.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, got anything else?
That's all for me.
Okay, I got one last thing, and
what
that is, if you didn't catch Live from the Owl's Nest 2 weeks ago, I recommend you go to YouTube and you watch it, because at the very end of it, I threw my hands up in celebration and Alicia whacked herself in the face right square in the nose. And it was one of the funniest things that I've ever caught on Live from the Owl's Nest. So
in fact, for the next 3 days afterwards, I kept hearing him laughing, and I realized that he was going and re-watching it.
Our kids were like, after dinner, can you put that up on the Apple TV? Can you do that?
So the whole family watched Mom hit herself in the face.
But it was pretty good. And hey, Peyton, if you're out there, I need a Giphy. I need you to make a little grab that out of that video and Giphy that up for me.
Give me a little 6-second vine of me. Whack.
That'd be pretty good. With that, thanks for spending the time and hearing about our updates. I'm Jamie.
I'm Alicia.
Together we're Royal Wise, and thank you for joining us live in the Owl's Nest. We will
see you in class.
See you in class.